Yep, just getting there. There we go. Right, hello guys, and welcome to the first of these many reviews, where today I will be reviewing Disney's 2020 documentary called Howard, which I watched on its premiere day. That was Friday, so that was the 14th. Oh no! It would have been
the 7th.
7th. That's it. Yeah, losing track of time. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be hopefully the first in many reviews of different documentaries and films, mostly from Disney, of course. But you know, maybe I'll review potential other alternate titles from other studios. We will see. First of all, I'd like to welcome JLI Wheels to this, the first one. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good evening, should we say?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. 5 o'clock. Yeah, that's. More of an
yeah.
evening,
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You good?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. Very excited to be reviewing this with you.
Excellent. Yeah, it's something launching. Oh right, already got someone. Someone on the live chat. So good evening. Good afternoon. Sorry, Colin Merritt.
It's good evening.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good evening. So, we're going to be reviewing, as I said, the documentary called Howard. Now, Howard is a really interesting documentary because I don't think a lot of people know. If you said the name Howard Ashman to someone, I'm not sure many people would actually know the name particularly. However, you will know his tunes. Mainly, he worked with Alan Menken, of course, who is has become one of Disney's top composers, isn't he? Along with Randy Newman. So Howard worked with Alan on Little Shop of Horrors, which was a very successful musical, and then obviously made it on to film with Muppets director Frank Oz, who I was surprised not to hear him speak actually, because he directed Little Shop of Horrors, but never mind. And then obviously for Disney with Menk. Oh, sorry. Were you going to say something, George?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to. Right, okay. Right, I do apologise. Yes, as I was saying, they did Little Shop of Horrors, and then when they came over to Disney, they did The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast, and Howard Ashman, before he tragically passed away, managed to complete 3 songs for Aladdin. So really, Howard really contributed a lot to the Disney, that new era, because of course if you're a particular fan of Disney, you will know that of course after Walt Disney's death in 1960. Oh, hang on. Right, hang on. Right, sorry, Joe, we just lost you there. Can you hear me, Jord? Hang on. I'll call you back. Right. Oh, dear. Technical difficulties? Right. So, hang on. Let me try again. Right, can you hear me, Jord?
Hello, mate. Sorry, you know what my internet's like.
No, that's all right. We'll just carry on. So, as I was...
Sorry.
What do you say, sorry?
Where were you up to?
I was just saying, well, obviously, if you're a Disney fan, you will know that after Walt Disney's passing in 1966, the studio, well, they struggled because obviously for a lot of animators, the motivation of wanting to impress Walt, and with Walt not being there, the studio had a lot of flops, and it wasn't really going well, particularly for Disney, until 1989's The Little Mermaid, which really kicked off a whole new era of Disney, I suppose, and we've got a lot to thank, particularly Howard Ashman. So the documentary, there's a really lovely story that I think it was one of Howard's sisters about going up to his room and him sort of pretending it was a fantasy land or made a den or something, or that was really nice.
It's a beautiful documentary.
Absolutely, it's made with a lot of love. You can
one
tell
of my
by
favourite
that.
parts of it was that it.
Sorry, Joel, what were you saying?
It's alright. One of my favourite parts of it was that I don't know. I quite like the fact that it wasn't too Disney centric.
Oh no, because obviously he obviously has done some stuff. Well, obviously not really to the same success as apart from Little Shop of Horrors on the non-Disney front.
Little Shop of Horrors was a very big cult film.
Yeah, definitely it was. I mean, but apart from Little Shop of Horrors and the Disney stuff, nothing really seemed to really work for him, did it?
I think that it follows the same formula as a couple of other Disney documentaries.
Yes.
Like Waking, Sleeping Beauty, which I'm sure you could review at some point. Well,
definitely. I'd love to watch that one again. That was great.
Which is a phenomenal documentary that talks about a lot of the infighting between Roy Disney, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and
Michael Eisner and Frank Wells.
Eisner and Frank Wells, yeah. So that very much in the fact that it's not, it doesn't have to be all about how they made these beautiful Disney movies. It's more about the stories behind that and being very truthful. I think a documentary that talks about the AIDS epidemic and
gosh, yes,
the way that it affected Howard Ashman was very. I think it was very. It was good because it was very respectful towards Howard Ashman and his legacy, and not just about Disney, and that was very good.
Yes, absolutely. I really enjoyed watching the documentary, and you could tell it was a documentary made full of love and care had gone into it. And I must praise Don Hahn. Is that how you pronounce his name? I mean, I'm just looking here. He, Beauty and the Beast he worked on, but also on The Lion King. And Don, that was a fantastic. Well done. That was a really good documentary. It can't have been easy for you, and it can't have been easy for because even though Howard Ashman was working for Disney in such a short time, he definitely made a lot of impression with the animators. And I was thinking about this, and I don't know, this might be a bit controversial, but Howard Ashman is, well, there's been two figures that have sort of been like Walt Disney in the entire history of the studio since his passing, and I'd be interested to hear what you think of this, John. But I think, along with John Lasseter, I think Howard Ashman would be the only two to be like a Walt type of figure.
Well, I think that's a very interesting point that you bring up, because Roy Disney made the same point in that documentary, if you remember.
Yes, he did, yeah.
And I think it's just like they're talking about they were designing Ursula, and
Yes.
from whatever they were from the brief they were given, it was
Yeah.
like a kind of a skinny Joan Collins-esque
Yeah, they were funny.
villain.
That was really funny.
And Howard Ashman comes in and he changes it, and I think it's very interesting to hear how he talks about that medium of animation, because it's very much forward thinking and very much revolutionary in a way to make it kind of musical and sort of a call-back to the old-fashioned Disney movies, which obviously he was brought up on with the likes of Cinderella and Peter Pan and
Pinocchio, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a very, very interesting, very good.
Yeah. What was really intriguing to see, one of my favourite parts was seeing that clip when he was talking to all the animators. He got them gathered in the room, and he spoke to them about how music could really work to drive the plot, because it's worth noting that before The Little Mermaid, Broadway type of music in animation films, well, it was never really done on the same style. I mean, American Tail, I suppose, which came out in 1986. I don't know if you've seen that film, Jordan, An American Tail with the mice.
I can't say I have.
Oh right, okay. Where the song "Somewhere Out There" came from, and yeah, really before that. But yeah, The Little Mermaid started a trend because obviously, Disney obviously have had massive success, obviously, because you've had Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and The Lion King and.
Well, very much. I think it's important to talk about the legacy of those films and that era, because
yes,
you're talking then about the musical animated movie and musical movies in general. That is pretty much the Disney blueprint nowadays. You look at films. Look at recent films, Frozen, Moana, Coco, all have got very, very good soundtracks.
Yeah.
And I think I take it right about the 92nd Street Y interview, where he talks about how music and movies and Broadway style don't mix. Which I also thought was a very, very interesting interview, because it was the night that he found out he had AIDS.
Yes, in 1987, I think, or 88.
To go there and to speak so philosophically about the future and about how he felt about animation and how he felt about working with Disney, and how he felt that it was kind of a way for him to put across the kind of projects that he wanted to. I thought it was very, very moving.
Yes, absolutely. It was a moving documentary, because obviously there were some, quite. If you're a particularly emotional person who likes a good cry, or there's definitely some moments in there.
Yeah. It hits some good emotional notes.
It does exactly. Obviously he's just made such a big impression in such a short time, which is the note that really hit me was when he went to Disneyland and he saw the Little Mermaid on the parade, and he said to Alan Menken, these things are going to live all long. Right after me.
Yeah, he said that was it, wasn't it? He went to Disneyland and there was a Little Mermaid on the parade.
Yeah.
And he said, we've made something that's going to live on for a long time, and he was really upset. And that's like, it's an emotional and a poignant moment in anybody's life if they achieve something.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You see that it's going to be successful, but obviously to know that he was he was dying and he
Yeah.
wasn't going to last
He was on
very
borrowed
long.
time.
Then in a different way, it's got a different meaning because he has, you know, absolutely in that moment solidified that his life was meaningful and he did something that people are going to remember forever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I
And
mean,
within that, within the sort of the big decisions and the big things that Howard Ashman did, one thing I like is the discussion about the cutting of part of your world. From
yes, I
Little
mean,
Mermaid.
I thought when I first heard about that, I thought Katzenberg was crazy to even think that.
Well, I mean, I really like the sort of the idea behind it as well. I mean, you think about you know, musical movies. Two that spring to well, two or three spring to my mind. You know, you've got Grease has a want song. You know, Sandy, whatever her name is from Greece.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
she's all about summer nights and beauty school and all
yeah,
that sort of thing. And
yeah,
Little Shop of Horrors has a want song in it. So I think it's definitely, like he said, you know, that kind of a song
yes,
tells the viewers what the main character's aspirations and aims are without having to draw them out. So I think it was definitely something that needed to be in there. I also thought it was very funny that he said, if you cut this song, I will strangle you, or something like that. You know, you'll cut that song over my dead body, or something like
yeah.
that.
And that
Yeah.
got Katzenberg to listen. That did.
I think obviously, I've got my own opinions on him. I thought from that documentary, I understood the Waking, Sleeping, Beauty documentary. I understood the different ways that Katzenberg and Eisner and all those kinds of people approached
I think he's a jerk.
animation. But yeah, well, you know, it's a point of contention, isn't it? I think you could tell, obviously, he wanted to make good movies, but I don't think he kind of understood the musical.
No, and he never even stood animation as well, because prior to arriving at Disney, I don't think he had any experience of animation.
He's one of the head guys at DreamWorks now, isn't he?
He
I
is,
don't know whether
yeah.
he still is, but he was when I last checked.
Yeah.
So going back to obviously the very beginning, we talk about Howard and his sister tells the story about the tent or whatever it is, the playroom or whatever it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. And that was very good because it obviously he had a creative eye instantly, and then we're talking about him. He moves out to California, and he's getting involved in all these plays, and there's the story about how his mom went to see him do a play, and he was there, you know, rolling around naked on the floor in front of her, which I thought was very funny. Yeah. And then obviously we get on to he meets Stuart White.
Oh, he does, yeah, of course.
Who is his first partner.
Yeah.
Like I said, in terms of the themes of the story, you know, it didn't shy away from the fact that they were two gay men first in Howard and Stuart, and then two gay men in Howard and Bill Louch, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were definitely, I think, obviously you could tell, I think, about Stuart as well. They didn't make him out to be like a bad guy. I've seen some documentaries where, you know, when it's to do with AIDS and things like that, they'll say, oh, you know, it's such and such's fault because they were so sexually active compared to the other one. And that, they do kind of touch on that, you know, Howard wanted to be with just Stuart, but Stuart wanted to be with other people. And
Yeah.
You know, but what I mean is that it was very like very well approached. And then we get on to the story of Little Shop of Horrors, which is probably my favorite part of the documentary.
Yeah, because
Um,
they've got some great songs in there.
because I actually it's a favorite of my mum's, so
Yeah,
I'm well aware of Little Shop of Horrors. I've seen it,
yeah.
and I you know I think it's a very it's a strange premise. I think the plan that
It is a
people
strange
and
one, yeah.
it's a strange premise, but it works, and
It is,
it was
yeah.
very. I liked the way that he talked about adapting things from a source material. You know,
Yes.
obviously that again is very much something that Disney do. They definitely, you know, Frozen is adapted from, is it the
The
Snow
Snow
Queen, the
Queen, yeah,
Ice
Hans Christian
Princess, whatever it's
Andersen,
called,
yeah.
the Hans Christian Andersen and Sleeping Beauty and things like that. They're Grimm tales. I think they're the Brothers Grimm, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Some
the
of
music
those.
to Sleeping Beauty was from Tchaikovsky or something.
Yeah. So I think that's what the documentary showed as well, was the beautiful marriage of Howard Ashman and by extension Alan Menken as well, who was a big part of the documentary, although it wasn't about him. Um,
Oh no,
you
of
know,
course. I mean, he's
and
right to be a big part of the documentary because given that he worked with Howard probably the most out of all the lyricists.
yeah, and that partnership with Howard and Alan and Disney worked really well, because
It's a
obviously
match made in heaven.
they and Howard specifically had a really knew how to extract from source material to make a good musical story as well, because obviously as he mentioned, it wasn't the original Little Shop of Horrors from the 60s wasn't a musical.
Yeah, I did not know that it was a film and then a musical and then back into a film. I did not know that actually.
No, well, see, I'm very happy to. Are we going with a rating this system?
Uh
Do
oh,
you think?
I just wanted to say about some really moments that I really enjoyed. That I
Okay,
think
go
are
on.
worth mentioning. Well, one of them obviously was Jodie Benson, the voice of Ariel. You
Yes,
see her recording part of your world with
I thought
Howard.
that was brilliant.
Yeah,
You can
brilliant.
see one. You see the passion that he puts into performances, and
Yes.
but also I really found it interesting that all she had to do was hear him sing it the way he thought it should be sang, and then
Yes.
she got it straight away, which I thought was really, and she's really talented. I also like the relationship between them, because obviously they were involved in that 80s thing that is it really called
Smile, yeah.
Smile or something like that, and she also went to see him the day before that he died or whatever it was.
Yeah, I
So
think, yeah.
I really like that, and I really liked her part in it, and I really thought that the use of archive footage was brilliant. I really
Oh,
enjoyed.
brilliant, yeah.
I liked the similar scene where he's talking to.
Angela
There's a
Lansbury
scene
and
with
Jerry Orbach.
Angela. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
scene with Angela Lansbury, and there's also a scene with Paige O'Hara, who's the
Oh, of
original
course, yeah,
Belle.
the voice of Belle, yeah.
Um, and I think the main thing that you notice in them was how much of a presence that he is, and how well he understood exactly what he wanted. And I also really liked listening to him sing Prince Ali.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah. Some of his demos, just he wouldn't admit it to himself, but he could have been a really good actor. He really could have.
Yeah, I think in that same part about the recordings, how it was I think it was very apt to have the documentary finish. The credits were, I think it was Part of Your World.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that was a demo or whether they mixed his vocal with, because it sounded like the original instrumentation track that.
No, he definitely sang it, so it's probably mixed. But I thought it was a beautiful way to end.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
End it.
Yeah, and it was great to see. Oh, sorry, it's great to see the legendary Marvin Hamlish as well, who he wrote "Smile" with, of course. Another great writer of.
Yeah, I liked that story. I liked that part because I thought it was very. Howard definitely picked himself back up again after that, whereas
he did. Yeah, it's not easy.
No. What other parts were your favourite?
Well, obviously seeing Angela Lansbury, she's just brilliant, she is. I mean, yeah, she made me laugh with, one of the comments she made after a break in recording, something about a dog or something. Whatever it is, I can't exactly remember, but it was really funny and had me laughing. And Jerry Orbach, the voice of Lumiere, just another great personality. A real veteran of the Broadway stage, actually. So he was perfect for Lumiere.
Anything else?
I do have one criticism with it, and I do kind of wish it mixed it up so we have pictures, but we'd also have, we'd see the people talking. That it got kind of a little frustrating to me. Now, whether these people didn't want to be filmed or whether Don Hahn wanted to do something different, I'm not sure. But nevertheless, it's still a great documentary.
I think it's to do with the pacing of the documentary. I think, if you have that where somebody sat down, it can take away from the story a little bit. Whereas you had that the people speaking, but you also had like the pictures and film and stuff, so it carries the story on. Great. And also, I'd also like to say, in terms of Don Hahn, also did Waking Sleeping Beauty, which I've mentioned a couple of times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very, very good. I also think another very good director for Disney documentaries is Leslie Iwerks.
Yes, of course. I watched the Pixar Story, another great one. Yeah. Love that one.
And she did the Imagineering.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying that. That's something I think I'm gonna review because I'm really enjoying that one.
I would, I'm not gonna make any promises, but I would love to get involved with reviewing that.
Yeah, because it's just amazing how they developed.
I really enjoyed watching that, and I thought it was very insightful.
Yeah, seeing how Walt Disney in the 1960s, you could obviously see when you see clips of Walt, and like he never looked back. There's a great quote that they use, I think, at the end of Meet the Robinsons. We keep going forward or something, and that's. I think actually watching this Howard documentary, I think if Walt had been alive, I think he would have been really impressed with Howard. I really do, because he would be on the same lines as him, I think.
Yeah, apologies for going quiet then, Will. Yeah. I mean, I've completely just lost my train of thought. But yeah, in terms of the Imagineering story, I think that's one that you definitely should review because it's a great series.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking I might do the Pixar Story actually next, I think.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that one.
It's really good, really intriguing, yeah.
Um, did you have a thought on a rating system, maybe, or
Uh, well, I'm
not
probably gonna
worth
give
doing
it.
that?
Oh, sorry.
Some people do that on review videos, and other people's don't. So it's up to you.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it's a film made with love and care and a lot of affection's gone into it. You know, the stories from everyone. Don Hahn has done a really exceptional job, and just a brilliant celebration of not just his work with Disney in the short time, but you know, his work with Marvin Hamlish on the, well, not very successful Smile, but I suppose another part of the documentary I thought was also quite good is that Howard suggested Jodie Benson as to make up for Smile not going particularly well.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, she herself turned around and said he never specifically said that was why, but that was her opinion.
Yes.
Which, if that was the case, and even if it wasn't, I really like The Little Mermaid.
Oh, absolutely. You know, without Little Mermaid, I don't think Disney would be in a healthier state where it is today.
Don't get me wrong. As a man, I think there are better Disney stories because I'm not really into all that princess crap.
I'm not particularly into characters, you know, just singing for. I'm not really into Broadway style, I must admit. Which is why Pixar hired Randy Newman and the Pixar, you know, when they were making Toy Story, is why they insisted not doing a Broadway musical, because they would have songs, they compromised, but it'd be from the perspective of the characters, but without them bursting into song. And I don't think you'd want to hear Tom Hanks and Tim Allen sing anyway.
I think I lost my train of thought again. That's so bad. But
no, that's all right.
What I was saying is, like, for me, I personally, the thing is, especially with these Howard Ashman and these Disney Renaissance era films, your Beauty and the Beast, your Aladdin, your Mulan, your Hunchback of Notre Dame, Little Mermaid. One thing I enjoy about those is that you can so clearly see what the themes are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that's mainly, I think, down to the music and
especially because Alan Menken worked on the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He did, and he worked on Pocahontas again. So, you know, really, he's working still for Disney. You know, he's just such a great composer.
They did Moana, didn't they? Alan Menken did music for Moana, didn't he? Or
No, I think that was
Princess and the Frog.
That was Randy Newman.
He definitely did one of the
Tangled.
Maybe that. I think that's
Tangled. Tangled was Alan Menken and Glenn Slater.
I've never seen that film.
I'm not.
Let me ask you one more question before we finish with the rating.
Okay.
They were talking about towards the end of the documentary. Some of the lyrics to the Beauty and the Beast songs reflecting Howard Ashman's battle with AIDS and homosexuality in general. What's your thoughts on that?
I thought that was very interesting because obviously, but you know, I kind of get the impression that Howard wouldn't have wanted to, you know, put his personal life to affect his work. So, I don't know, but maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, we might never know. But I have the feeling, I think, if you had a conversation with Howard Ashman, you would really get some very interesting conversations, I think.
I'm somewhere in between with my belief about Beauty and the Beast. I think, you know, the one that they specifically brought up was the mob song, you know, and Gaston has them all. And, like,
I'd forgot about that one, actually.
And I think that I don't think he would have put personal experience into it. But when you're a songwriter and you can empathise with a character that can be seen as a beast, I think
That is true, yeah.
you are going to be able to resonate and put yourself right into that. And I think as well, Beauty and the Beast does have some very good mirrors to attitudes towards some of the things that Howard was going through, homosexuality and AIDS.
Yeah, yeah. When you look back on it and they point them out, but yeah.
I think another part of it is like that saying that hindsight is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway. Let's get back to where we were. You've said 8 out of 10 for the documentary.
8 out of 10. Like I said, the only criticism I would have wanted to mix it up, but I get what you're saying. It would affect the pace, and Don wanted to tell the story, and all the other people wanted to tell the story, which actually I think would be more intriguing for people rather than just seeing people just sitting down and yeah. Yeah, but yeah, 8 out of 10, a documentary made with labour and love, and yeah, fantastic documentary. And what a man!
I'm gonna go for a 9. I think there are a few things that stopped it from being a 10 for me. One of the things was I didn't necessarily like that it was a film, to be honest.
Yeah, but I suppose with Don Hahn being he's mainly a film guy, isn't he? So more than a documentary.
I agree that it was a beautifully put together documentary.
Yes.
It was that you could tell it was made by somebody that knew him, somebody that was friends with him.
Yes.
I think all the behind the scenes stuff was great.
Absolutely.
The themes were great. The fact that it wasn't just all about Disney, the amount of love, I thought the Little Shop of Horrors got a lot of love in that.
Definitely.
In that documentary. So yeah, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I think a 10 out of 10 for me would be probably like the Imagineering story. Not to spoil I think overall it's a 10 out of 10. But I think some episodes of that are stronger than others. But
oh no, I think I've enjoyed the ones I watched so far, and I think I'm going to enjoy them all, I think.
So yeah, I'm going to go with a 9 out of 10. Perfect story, perfect execution.
Yeah.
Just a little bit long-winded for me.
Yes, well, yeah. Each to their own. And yeah, I hope this documentary gets a lot of people, knowing more. Knowing even who Howard Ashman is, because I asked my mum and she hadn't heard of him. But of course she has heard of Alan Menken, but yeah, hadn't heard of Howard Ashman.
Okay, so that's episode 1 done with.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What's next for you and for this series, and also for us generally?
I think I would really love to do the Pixar story, because to me that's one of the best documentaries. I mean, that definitely. It's so intriguing to see how Pixar went from Lucasfilm, and then I won't spoil it too much when I do review the Pixar story, but I think that's going to be it. Yeah, I do recommend you watch that, Jules, because it's a really intriguing documentary. Really is.
I know that we're doing a video at some point. Are we? In fact, I don't think we might be doing a football related video over the next week or so.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know when the next time we might get together is. Because because it's quite a busy few weeks for the rest of us. But I'm sure you'll be able to.
Yeah, well, I actually think that this slot might be good on a Tuesday to. Yeah, maybe I can say this slot will be my review slot, I think. So
yeah, we haven't quite got an official schedule yet, but I think it would be good to slot a show in and say, right, every Tuesday you're gonna do a review or whatever.
Obviously, hopefully, I mean, but not every week's the same, is it? So you never know.
So, with that being said,
thank you very much for your company, JLI Wheels.
You're very welcome. All I was going to say was, so with that being said, best case scenario, we don't know when we're going to be back to do football stuff.
Yeah.
We did say, or I did say to you yesterday that if you wanted to do a video or two when I was next off,
yeah,
which would actually land very well to do next Tuesday.
It would, yeah. Well, yeah, because there's not as much football on anyway, is there? So
no. So, I've said to you we could do a video or two.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do reviews every Tuesday, then that to me sounds good because you're building a schedule up and stuff. So
yeah.
All that's left for me to say is thank you very much for having me on, Will. I've really enjoyed it.
Been a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I'm sure Will will say the exact same thing in a minute, but if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the, what we call now, TubeMix.
TubeMix YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just checked earlier, we're one away from 50.
Yep.
Or you are one away from 50, shall we say.
Yes.
So let's just try and get that done, and I hope everybody enjoyed. I actually really love doing this.
Absolutely.
I like to review stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hopefully this could be, well, for me, certainly the first in, well, many reviews. I might even have to force myself to watch The Jungle Book too.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
No.
Okay then, Will, do you wanna wrap it up?
Yep, so he knows me too well. If you want to like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel, as I said, thank you for your company, JLI Wheels. I'll hopefully see you next Tuesday. JLI Wheels hopefully will be back at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, thanks for